It is nice to be back at work. Your work never stops, but it is nice to be back in a gathering where seekers come, vibrating life, asking through your vibration, not only with your words, seeking conscious awareness of why your life is playing out as it is, yes? Sometimes as physical beings, you come to rely on action and words to make your life as you want it to be. And then you find such frustration because sometimes you speak words and offer actions that are contrary to the vibration that you are offering. In other words, when you say, I really hope that something turns out well, when you really do not expect it to, your words of hope sound cheerful, but they do not bring you the results you seek. When you want something that you sincerely doubt, it cannot be as long as that doubt is prevalent within you. You have to find a way to shift beliefs before life can change. And beliefs didn't come quickly to you, did they? They came through living of life. But most important, and you've been telling us this, your beliefs did not come because you pulled them out of thin air. Your beliefs came because you witnessed life that made you believe. So when you saw something happening that you did not want to happen, as you observed it and gathered your statistics about it, you came to the conclusion that this is factual, this is evidence, this is truth, this is real. And then you teach one another that it is virtuous to focus upon things that are real. And we say, maybe so in your physical format, but we want you to realize that whatever you are focusing upon is training you into a habit of thought. That's all a belief is. It's just a habit of thought. It's a thought you keep thinking. So when you train yourself into a habit of thought that is not a match to anything close to what you would want to live, you've set up a cross current in your vibrational frequency. You want it this way, but you expect it this way. And we want to say to you that your expectations, because you've come along to them, in other words, you didn't get them immediately, you got them by listening, by watching the television commercials, by speaking to the people that were surrounding you. You came to the vibrational habits of thought that you have come to over a long period of time, and they, whether you like it or not, are in most cases more dominant within you than the vibration of your very desire. Which means there are all kinds of things that you want that you are offering a vibration that is different than. So have you noticed that the things that you know you've got handled, you keep handling? And that's because your belief is in that place. So your pattern of thought, your expectation of thought keeps perpetuating the same. The law of attraction, which is the basic law of all that exists, says that the frequency that you are emitting is being constantly matched by others' frequencies that are the same. So when you come to feel the way you feel, and you don't work to think thoughts that cause you to feel differently, then you continue to offer this habit of thought. Don't you know people that sort of had an attitude or a mood or a personality when you knew them as teenagers? And now when you meet up with them again, they're sort of in the same place? Most of you do not change your patterns of belief because most of you perpetuate your patterns of belief through your observation of what is. So what is surrounding you, you observe it, you offer more vibration about it. Law of attraction gives you more like what is, which you observe and offer a vibration about it. So law of attraction gives you more like what is. And then you start saying, my life experience has taught me that what is. This is fact. This is just the way it is. And we say, that may be true. It may be just the way it is, but we want you to understand that just the way it is absolutely changeable, but you can't change just the way it is if you keep observing just the way it is. So then people say, well, how do I not observe just the way it is when just the way it is so everywhere around me because I'm just the way I am? And we say, well, little by little, you just visualize a little more or selectively sift a little more diligently. The only way that we know that you could even begin to shift your vibrational patterning is by caring more about the way you feel than you do about the truth or the facts that you are observing. We know your teachers and your parents, those mentors around you said, don't tell me a story. Tell me like it is. And we say, don't tell us like it is, tell us a story. Tell us the story of the way you want your life to be. Tell the story the way you want it to be until you begin to believe the story. And when you believe the story, your vibration is shifted and the universe will match your story. The universe is matching your vibrational offering. You just didn't. Most of you know that you could offer a vibration that matches what you want. You have believed for a long time that you should offer the story about how it is. Now, many of you, even Jerry and Esther, who really know the power of thought, they have witnessed it endlessly. Still, they can get swept up in the bigness of what is. What is gets your attention. All of your physical senses are cued to help you in observation. What you see with your eyes is a translation of vibration. What you smell with your nose is a translation of vibration. What you feel with your fingertips and hear with your ears and taste with your tongue, you are a veritable vibrational interpreter. We just want you to realize that the true interpretation of vibration that's going on within you is the vibration that is translated through what you call emotion. That's really telling you the story that you want to be aware of. So when you feel negative emotion, what your guidance is telling you is you've got thoughts going on, chronic thoughts going on, and more important, current thoughts in the moment of the emotion going on that are not a match to what you want. In fact, depending upon how strong the negative emotion is, your thoughts are really not a match to what you want. Now, sometimes people say, oh, that's very confusing because my emotions are all over the place. And sometimes people will say, I know I felt good about such and such and it didn't turn out so good, so what went wrong with that? And we want you to understand that you must come to an awareness of how your emotions work, but even more important than that, you must come to an awareness of who you are as the whole being that you are. You must know that you are source energy in physical bodies, and that the source energy part of you remains in the non-physical realm, in the vibrational realm, while the physical part of you is here interpreting through your physical format. But you cannot separate yourself ever from the source energy that is you. It's always pulsing strong within you. So the source energy that is pulsing strong within you so knows your value. And when you don't, you cause a problem in your vibration. The source energy within you so loves you and others around you. And when you don't, you cause discord in your vibrational countenance. So the way it works is you came forth into this physical body. And in the moment that you came forth, you gained the perspective of your physical environment, but you also always have this larger perspective of source energy pulsing through you. And in the moment that you were born, those two perspectives began to give you vibrational feedback. The relationship between the source energy and the physical, how I'm focused in my physical realm energy, began giving feedback to one another, just like every guidance system in the world does. So now you've got these 2 points of vibrational relativity, the lover that you really are and the lover that you might be being in your moment, or the hater that you might be being in your moment. And when you are feeling the emotion that you call hatred or anger, what that means is you've got a very different point of view of whatever your object of attention is than the source within you. We know physical beings don't like to hear it when we say, The source within you loves your enemies because you are so determined that you are justified in your not loving of them. But we want you to understand that when you are not loving someone, that who you really are is loving, the problem that is caused by you, and the trouble comes to you, not to your enemy. We say to you, you've got to find a way to soften up your vibration on those renegades that have been betraying you and mistreating you, because even though by physical standards, even by non-physical standards, you are utterly justified in the way you feel about their seeming wrongdoing or about their betrayal of you, when you focus upon anyone in an attitude of anything that's less than the pure love that who you really are feels toward all life, you cause friction in your vibrational patterning, and it feels like negative emotion to you. And if you keep it up, you experience a stronger indication of the discord. So the first indication of vibrational discord, or resistance between who you really are and who you're being in the moment that you are focused, the first indication of the discord is negative emotion. The first indication of alignment is positive emotion. And of course the range goes all the way from ecstasy to agony, doesn't it? In other words, there are the empowering emotions that feel like love and joy, and there are utterly disempowering emotions that feel like fear and revenge and despair, depression. But along all that range of emotions are your indications of your alignment or not so much with who you really are. So as you come to understand that, and then you do something so wise, you say, I'm going to begin guiding myself by how the thought, action, or word feels, not by what someone outside of me is proposing as appropriate action. In other words, when you get it, that you have this supreme guidance that is giving you feedback in every moment, and that everything that manifests in your life is nothing more than an indication of your vibrational countenance, then you can come to realize that if you've got manifestations happening that aren't pleasing you, you've got to change the vibration that is emanating from you, or the indicator can't change. When someone has cancer, of course they don't want it, but we want to say to you, it's just an indication of vibration. Change the vibration and the indication must change. But the reason people say, no, this cancer is deadly, no, this cancer is incurable, no, what I've got can't be fixed, the reason they say that is because so many are fixed on their patterns of thought, so most don't get over it, but all could. We tell doctors and scientists, when you start looking for vibrational roots, vibrational causes, instead of cures for diseases, now you really have something. But until you get to the vibrational reason, the disease will just squirt out in another way, and another way, and another way. Haven't you noticed? You get a cure, then you get 10 more diseases. Then you get a cure, then you get 10 more diseases. In other words, your resistance runs fast and furious in an environment where energy is moving so fast. You live at the leading edge of thought, where all thought that has ever been thought before is culminating and expressing further forward. This is the leading edge of that which you call source. And out here on the leading edge, energy moves fast because the billions of you who are here living and asking, and you do that, don't you? Life causes you to know what you don't want, which causes you to know what you do want. So life just causes you to ask and ask and ask and ask. And do you know, every time you ask, we're not just talking about with your words, every time you are in some situation where it is not as you want it to be, an asking emanates from you, and in the moment of that asking, source energy answers, lines up circumstances and events, and a rush of energy moves through a veritable vortex that creates worlds, opens. The energy moves quickly and instantaneously toward the fulfillment of everything you ask for. The question is, are you up to speed with that energy stream? And in these days, we want to say to you, because the stream is moving so fast, if you get a little out of alignment with it, the results show up pretty big and pretty fast, don't they? In other words, a car that's going 100 miles an hour, you're paying more attention than a car that's going 5 miles an hour. And a car that's going 100 miles an hour and hits a tree, much bigger problem than a car that's going 5 miles an hour and hits a tree. Well, friends, welcome to 100-mile-an-hour cars. In other words, this is the time of fast energy, which means this is the time of awakening. This is the time of figuring out what you're doing with the energy. You can't be sloppy with your thinking in an environment where energy is moving so fast. You got to pay attention to your thoughts.